Powering on. Bum, 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 bum.
Ready to pair.
I'm trying to pair. I'm trying to pair. I'm trying to pair. I'm trying to pair. I'm trying to pair. Okay, none of that is you. Will this actually capture? No. Interesting. So let's go back a second. And I need to make a starting soon sign. Bluetooth jam double. Jam double. Can we get a little music? And then can I put starting soon? Let's see. Starting soon. Can we get like a visual of that? Nice. Gosh dang it. Can I just get a picture? Can I just get a picture? Did I get it? Options, let's save it. Let's do automatically. Come on. PDF, that's fine. Is it in my downloads files? Done. There we go. Okay, so maybe this will work. Hold on. So I can go bam, bam. Will this actually show though? Can you guys see that? Oh, nice. Beautiful. Heck yeah. Beautiful. I like it. We will be with you guys soon.
Now we play a song. So if you want to get with the groove, just go on and stretch out and let your feet stand. Whatever you want, just feel it. If we feel it. Here we go. song wasn't so real. It was only a song.
The name of the song, I'll tell you now. The song is called
It was only a song. What's this?
Yo, 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 yo. I'm on this beat with the cadence. Welcome to the stream about fragrance. Yo. Do you have a suggestion? Cause it's the fragrance hangout, perfect for a question. I might teach you a fragrance lesson, and I'm dropping bombs. I don't really care what you're doing, or about the general opinions of FragCom. I'm here to spit, freestyling so legit, don't quit. About to drop a decan, about to drop a scent, about to buy a new bottle, and I spent a couple $100 for the niche fragrance. And I thank you for your patience. Welcome to the stream. You can pick a fragrance behind me and we'll talk about it clean. Oh man, of course the beat fades out. All right. We might even have to turn it up. Yo. On board. Recent fragrance that I purchased was Tom Ford. Yo, it's no pressure. What I love about this fragrance is it's got that vetiver. Then the beat drops again. Why would it do that to me? Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum bum. Ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum bum. What's up, Arnitha? What's up, Pui all up? Is that Pal Zyler over there in the corner? No. Which fragrance are you talking about? What color is it? Now YouTube's gonna start flooding people back in here. They hate when I say starting stream soon. They absolutely hate it. But we're in here now. Greenlee, what is up, man? Good to see you. Let's go ahead and do this. Greenlee, are you there? Say what's up if you're still here. I got a present for you. Bump, 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 bump. Okay. So what I'm going to do for you, Greenlee, is first and foremost, welcome home. You have now been moderated. Welcome to the scent bubble. You are now official like a referee with a whistle. Secondly, I want to share my appreciation for your transcription efforts. And you, sir, get to choose. Real quick, I'm going to let you screenshot. You can get a travel spray of anything on this shelf. My fragrance list is on Fragrantica, but hopefully you are able to screenshot there. Pick your fragrance, and it's yours. Travel spray it out, have it out tomorrow. If you need to contact me to give me your address info, feel free to contact me on Instagram, and I'm gonna hook it up. All right, bright leather it is. Say less. What's going on, everybody? Golzar says, can you suggest some cheap aquatic, marine, long-lasting, cheap fragrance for office? 100%. When we talk marine aquatics, there's really only one that you ever need. For every day, for office, for date night. It just works. Acqua di Gio Profumo, aka Latafa Sucrat. $20 or less on Amazon. 100 ml. This juice is special. Gio Armani Classic EDT scent with a touch of incense. It is about 95% close to Acqua di Gio Profumo. It is incredible for the office. It is incredible for outdoors, everyday activities. But there's something very masculine, very powerful about this fragrance in that it is so versatile. And as a marine aquatic specifically, it is the best in the business. $20 on Amazon. Enjoy that. Thank you, Golzar, for the beautiful question. Malik, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the scent bubble. We're gonna prepare that for you right now, Greenlee. For those of y'all who don't really know much about decanting a fragrance, it's quite simple. Pop the top. Get to the stem. Ooh, I hope this will let me decant for you, buddy. Sometimes they intentionally make the fragrance goofy, but I think this is good enough. Then your decant bottle looks like that. Make sure you get your decants with the holes on the bottom so you don't have to do any weird spraying. And then we are going to pump this up. I actually think I'm not as lit up. We need to get lit. For those of y'all who don't see kind of what goes into the scent bubble here. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's turn it around. Much better. So you guys can actually see in here. Beautiful. Okay. All right. How is Tarathi Blue? Heard a lot about it. Tarathi Blue versus Latafa Sucrat. Greenlee, could you type in there the correct spelling of Sucrat so Golzar knows what to search for? Tarathi Blue is not the same fragrance as Latafa Sucrat. They fall into two different categories. Tarathi Blue is Bulgari's Tiger, and it is a citrus basket on water notes. It's very beach, pool party, walking in the sand, playful, fruity medley. It's kind of like an upscale, casual, aquatic fruit fragrance. Very playful. Can't really take it seriously. You can't use it on a date night. You can't use it in the office. You can't use it to look sophisticated. It just is a really cool, fun fragrance. It lacks sophistication. and it's a little too playful. But in its category, a lot of people really enjoy it. The thing about Socrate is, if you know anything about Acqua di Gio Profumo, it's way more versatile. Socrate you can wear out of the shower. Socrate you can wear running errands. Socrate you can wear going to school. Socrate you can wear going to work. Socrate you can wear on a date. Socrate you can wear with a suit on. And in all of those cases, you will smell rich, you will smell manly, and you will smell marine aquatic fresh. You don't quite get that same experience with Tarathi Blue because it's just always a fun fragrance, not a serious fragrance at all. So they're both good fragrances, but you will use Socrate a lot more year round. Want to make sure we get you the full bottle. Beautiful. We will pre-prep the trigger for you. Smells amazing. Got full juice. Let's repackage it in your little tampon sleeve. Get me some packing tape, and I will write this down. This is for Greenlee. Greenlee. Yeah, Greenlee. So if you could, brother, hit me up on Instagram to give me your address so I know where this is going. And I will put it out in a package tomorrow for you, and you should receive it Tuesday. Appreciate you for all your help with the channel, doing all the transcriptions. A lot of people really, really appreciate your hard work in that. Don't ever have to feel pressured to do so, but when you do it, it's always appreciated, buddy. Do you have a link to the decanter that you recommend? Well, I don't necessarily have a link because when you look it up on Amazon, so many different people sell this particular decant. But what I would say is, so that you always know, beautiful, so that you always know you have the right decant, this is what you want to look for. So if they show you so you're going to go onto Amazon and you're going to type refillable perfume atomizer. They're going to be 6-packs, and they're very cheap. You can get like 12 to 24 of these for less than $10. It's very cheap. I think I got mine for like $7. They're in this box, but most importantly, when they show you what they look like, they have to have the refillable atomizer. So when you look at the sprayer, they come in all different colors. They have to show you the juice here so you can see when it's actually full. And they have to have the bottom that looks like this. And this bottom allows you to just simply press on the top of the fragrance, and it will instantly fill this up. You don't have to do any kind of weird pumping or anything. Just take the decant, find your fragrance, take the cap off, pump it until this is full, and you're done. Very clean, easy way to get 5 ml decants, and they're extremely cheap on Amazon. So refillable perfume atomizer. I don't know why they call them that. They should just call them decants or travel sprays, but they call them refillable perfume atomizers. And you can get them extremely cheap on Amazon. Okay, let's move down. Peace, homie. Can you give us a recommended cologne for each season? No, I can't. And the reason why is because it's such a generic question. It's so generic. What single fragrance would I recommend for each season without any type of particular information about what you wear or what you're into? It's like, if there was just one all-time great fragrance for each season, there would be no need for fragrance discussion at all. Tell me do me a favor right now, what are your 4 favorite fragrances for the seasons? What do you wear for spring, summer, fall, and winter? And then I'll meet you and tell you another fragrance you should get based on those interests. How much do you decant for? And do you have a list I can order from? I do not sell decants. I give decants away to my subscribers every month. Your boy needs to get a shave. But I do teach people how to decant on their own, like I just did. And if you're a subscriber to the channel, we have tons of giveaways every month where we give away decants from my entire collection, which you can find on Fragrantica. Really appreciate that. Send you my pertinence via Instagram. Appreciate you, Greenlee. Appreciate you. You're going to enjoy that bright leather. Thanks, my man. Exactly what I was looking for. Malik, thank you. Guys, bring your questions in. Again, you'll find out very quickly that this channel, if you ask a general question like, give me the 5 best fragrances in your collection, you're not going to get an answer. I don't get the sense that when you ask that question, you're actually looking to buy fragrance. I get the sense that you're just looking for a quick opinion that you might write down and think it's important and then forget about it later because you're not that serious. You're just poking for random bits of information. I need a specific. Give me some context. Give me something you enjoy. Give me something specific you're looking for a fragrance for. Not just, I'm looking for a winter fragrance. What would you pick? I would pick 100 different fragrances for winter. Look at my choices. Do you think I'm gonna have one fragrance for winter? No, I'm gonna have 50. So I need a little bit more specifics, and then I can come in and give you guys all the juicy stuff. So VI, let me know what you're rocking. If you're serious about that question and you want to put in the work on your end, I'll put in the work on my end and meet you where you're at, and we'll get you some great fragrances on your shelf. What other questions y'all got, man? This is the scent bubble. This almost looks like a scent bubble. I'll let y'all take a look at my 2-stack fragrance collection. See if y'all are interested in any of these that you have questions about. We've got a mix of niche, designer, and clone so that we can address every price point of what people are interested in. And that's what we do, baby. We're the scent bubble. Give me something for date night. Winter fragrance, a dark, seductive, aphrodisiac effect. I don't think aphrodisiac can be defined in a universal way. Let me think about that for a second. Is there a note that universally makes women want to make love to you? No, there isn't. However, let's erase that from your request, and let's just go with dark, cold weather, and seductive. I'm going to go with one very common one, and then I'm going to go with one that is a little more unique. So a common one that people know about, but I don't know if it's common that everybody owns it as much as it's just a name that everybody knows, is obviously Initio Parfums Oud for Greatness. This is its clone, Oud for Glory. I call this the Great Gatsby fragrance. This is the fragrance that Leonardo DiCaprio would have worn when he came out of his mansion to his giant estate, ballroom, thousands of people. He comes out tuxed out with a serious face, and he overlooks the balcony at everybody partying. And every woman looks up at the man on the staircase, and they say, "Who the heck is that guy?" This is dark. This is sweet. This is mysterious. And it just has an insane amount of allure and draw. It's extremely sexy. It does have oud, but it's one of the freshest, most commercial ouds you'll ever smell in your life. And the dark seduction on this can't be underestimated, which is why Oud for Greatness is one of the best dark and mysterious seductive fragrances of all time. So this is my common political answer, because for $25, maybe even 20 bucks, this is dark, mystery, slightly sweet, winter weather gold. Beautiful presentation, rubberized texture on the bottle, plaque plating. And this fragrance is borderline nuclear to the point where all you truly need is one spray in the front, one spray in the back, and it'll probably carry you for 10 hours minimum. If you go up to 2 to 4 sprays, the fragrance will go 24 hours. My slightly less common, which I have no clue why, is going to be Halloween Man Shot. And similar to Oud for Glory, what you just saw, this is also a black and gold fragrance. It's kind of incredible that the bottles that look the exact same in terms of colorway bring you the same thing. Both of these are slightly sweet, very dark and mysterious, seductive fragrances for winter. This is a little more year-round, but it works the best at night, and it pops off skin the most in colder weather. A little more versatile, but it's harder to find. You can find this fragrance, but to find it for retail is going to be tough. So I would venture to say that, I got this fragrance for $20 for how much ml? For 125 ml. Look how big that bottle is. I paid $20. You might pay anywhere between $20 to $50 for this fragrance, but it doesn't matter. It's 130 ml. This is, to me, very close to Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir, which ironically enough is a black and gold bottle. Who would have thought, right? This is vanilla. This is extremely fresh, but it has this dark backbone of mysteriousness to it. There is leather, but it's such a fresh cut of leather in the backbone of this fragrance. Fragrantica might not even list the leather note, but it's there. Slightly vanillic, mostly fresh, sweet, tiniest bit of incense, tiniest bit of leather in the base. This is a killer. This is a fresher take than something like a Spice Bomb or a Tom Ford Noir Extreme. But boy, does it's unique in how wearable this is. This is a seductive killer. I'm not sure if leather is in Oud for Glory, but it definitely feels like there's leather in it. Hopefully that helps you on your journey. Both of those fragrances, $25 for one. The other one could be $20 to $50 depending on where you find it. If you can find it online, other than on eBay, you should be able to get it for under 30 bucks for 125 ml. What was your best blind buy of 2024, if any? What was my best blind buy? Ooh. Paris Corner Amir Celestial. This will easily go down as top 3 best cologne fragrances of 2024. It's one of my favorite fragrances to wear. It's insanely versatile. If you're a fan of Tom Ford Oud Wood or a fan of Ganymede, this is essentially oud wood with violet leaf, slight powder sweetness. Yes, it's cloning Ganymede, but it's a more commercial take on Ganymede because, again, the slight powdery, slightly sweet ramp up from the violet leaf. There's more violet leaf in this, which is what the fragrance always needed. When you spray this fragrance, it is, I smell like I just died and went to heaven, and I'm standing before the gates, and God is meeting me at the gates. And I just catch a whiff of this. I know I'm going to a good place. This is heavenly. It is the best that the earth has to offer. It's mineralic. It's fresh cut suede. It's violet leaf. It's aromatic. One of the most unique DNAs on my shelf. And a lot of you guys know that I don't truly blind buy ever. So I did a lot of research into this fragrance, and I tried Ganymede before I bought this. But I was still blind to this and going on blind faith. And I would buy 5 of these bottles just so that I had this fragrance for the rest of my life and no one could outbuy it from me. I honestly believe that if you bought 5 of these and gifted them to your friends as a stocking stuffer for Christmas, you would be considered the best friend of all time. Liam Gray was very nice. You know, we've got Liam Gray back here. Liam Gray is very nice. I personally think that when you put Tom Ford's Oud Wood behind this, it's way more special because it feels way more masculine and less feminine. But this is a very unique fig tea fragrance. And I'm a fan of figs, so I'm a fan of Liam Gray. Yeah, I'm sorry for that disappointment purchase. You know, not every Lattafa is a hit. Do the atomizers work for every fragrance? I know that some of the nozzles on fragrances are different sizes. Well, in my experience, and I think that you're talking about the travel sprays, in my experience, it hasn't mattered if the nozzle is different. Like just now, my bright leather nozzle was not a standard, you know, stem nozzle that you're used to seeing. And neither is Bentley, right? Like look at that nozzle. That's a different type of nozzle. It's like a little outward mushroom or a tulip. But in my experience with the travel spray, it hasn't mattered. Now, the worst case scenario, such a great Addy on this. In my experience, if you run into that situation, unfortunately, some backup. I always get 2 kinds of atomizers. Okay. I get these so I can pump. But if I want to go dirt cheap in terms of like spending the lowest amount of money, I'll just get these plastic Addies right here that are completely see-through. And what's nice about these is the opening is so open. that you can literally, if you're dealing with a very weird top on the fragrance, let's just say it was Versace Eros. At the end of the day, with decants of this diameter, you can literally just, I mean, look, it fits dang near on top of the cap. So all you do is simply hold it right here and you can just spray it until it's full. Now, if I have to go this route because the cap is too unique and I don't want to break the fragrance, if I have to go to this, which is rare, you know, you fill it up, then you simply set your Addy back into it. And then you actually don't have to worry about snapping it closed. When you put the top on and just squeeze down, it snaps. And then you can do your pressurized testing and whatever. But if I'm doing this as you're filling it up with the sprayer, you know, if it mists or anything like that, I always think if you decant for real like I do, I have over 300 empty decants here. What I like to do personally is have a little $5 Amazon box of medical gloves. This box of nitrile medical gloves, and there are 100 pairs in here, literally cost me like $5 on Amazon. So if I'm doing it that way, I may put the gloves on just so that if there's any misting at all, it's not getting all over my hands while I'm doing it. But in my experience, I haven't even really needed them. I've just tried them for the purpose of my videos and instructing people on best practices for decanting. So that's me. I get the really fancy ones for about $7. You get like a 12 pack of the ones you just pump. And if you have to just spray the fragrance into the clear ones with the wide nozzle, maybe just get some gloves, and then you don't have to worry about decant pumping at all. You just spray it directly into the bottle. And that works just fine. I think I got a 50 pack of those clear ones for less than $10. A 50 pack. And you know, sometimes we gift the 10 mLs. And with the 10 mLs, I can just spray them as well. So with the 10 ml, like for instance, this one's Coach Open Road, because I label my decants. I haven't smelled Coach Open Road in a while. Sometimes I'll just feel up to it and be like, yo, I'm gonna upgrade you to a 10 rather than a 5. Coach Open Road's nice, man. I don't think it's worth 100 ml, but for a fresh linen, slight floral fruit, it's really nice, man. If you like Calvin Klein Everyone, CK1, 90 Pure White, Star Walker, this has one up on them. I think they're all going to be pretty slight pour performance, maybe like 4 or 5 hour fragrances, but for something this light and fresh, overspray. Okay, I'm sure I'm behind in typical fashion. We'll move through these quicker. Scent of the day, Daniel Jossier, Mystery Oud. What up, Smooth? I mean, Dom, if you don't want the sheep version, get Oud for greatness. If you want to be tough, get Oud for greatness. Let's cut all the corners. Just get the real thing. You'll be the best smelling, mysterious, slightly sweet, leathery man on campus. There aren't many fragrances that you can beat out Initio's Oud for greatness with. I would actually challenge you to find me one, designer or niche, in the leather category. You can't go with anything Tom Ford. You can't go with anything Chanel. You can't go with anything Roja. You can't go with anything Bond No. 9. You know, you might be able to creep under the radar with Wall Street or with Mind Games, but you don't strike me like the type of guy that can pick up some mind games. So, I mean, I'm helping you out by giving you the affordable options. If you've got the 300 for the Initio's Oud for greatness, boss up, bro. Boss up. Do you have or smelt Honor and Glory, the white bottle? Okay, so it's okay, but it's not worth the bottle to me. It smells good, but a lot of times what it comes down to is where are you gonna wear it? A lot of times when it comes to clones, dupes, and inspireds, you run into an issue where you trick yourself into believing a fragrance smells good, therefore it's a good fragrance for you. And so when you're looking at YouTube videos and you're searching around, you see people say top 5s and top 10s and best fragrance for winter and best fragrance for the holidays and all this. And you see that a lot of people start saying the same thing. You start hearing the same top 5s. You hear a lot about Camera. You know, you hear a lot about Eternal Oud. You hear a lot about 9 p.m. You hear a lot about Off Non-Carbon. You hear a lot about Liam Gray. You hear a lot about Dior Homme type stuff. You hear a lot about the Tarathis and the Club de Nuit line and stuff. And it starts to become very redundant, but the reality is, do any of those fragrances work for you? So I really feel like Honor and Glory is one of those fragrances. It's a sweet fragrance. I forget, I think the star notes on that is like tiramisu is one of the star notes in that fragrance, florals. And it's a good fragrance in the air, but for a man, it's too unisex, it's too sweet, and it becomes a matter of when would you playful casually wear a floral gourmand that smells fresh. It's a very odd use case other than sitting around at home enjoying that scent. You know, you wouldn't wear it to the gym. You wouldn't wear it to work. You wear it to a park. So it really comes to use case. So for that reason, I don't think it warrants a 100 ml bottle. I might be tempted to get maybe a travel spray at best just to have that DNA if I want to pop out in something weird. But that's not even me anyway. You know, I'm a grown man. So as a 36-year-old man, I rarely am thinking in my mind, you know, I want to pop out smelling like custard and, you know, tiramisu. All right, it might not even be a tiramisu note. I think it's a, not tiramisu. What's the one with the little sugar crust on top and it's like a cream under it? It's like burnt sugar on the top. Creme brulee, I think that might be the note. Have you tried Intense Cedrat Boisé by Mancera? What are your thoughts on it? I think Amir Cedrat Essence is better than Cedrat Boisé and Cedrat Boisé Intense. Cedrat Boisé is a DNA that is very classic. It doesn't have modern touches. It feels like a cool uncle who's living in the past a little bit. And I love this. I love the scent of Cedrat Boisé, but when I smell it, there's something that lacks newness and modernness to it. And I'll give you an example. You know, try Amir Cedrat Essence and compare it to Cedrat Boisé Intense. Just doing one kind of modern, playful take on this kind of luxurious, slightly sweet, slightly playful, but very upscale, sophisticated, rich smelling DNA. And they just add honeydew melon. Oh shoot, like a light green melon note. Wow, now this fragrance is talking to me. Now this fragrance has character. Maybe it might be a little less sophisticated, but it still has that luxury, slight fruit medley, sophisticated, rich smell. But it's a little bit more playful, but it's more interesting of a DNA to me. I've always felt that Cedrat Boisé, with each year that goes by, it gets older smelling. And it's unfortunate, but it is a very old fragrance. You got to keep that in mind. Not every old fragrance smells old, but to me, Amir Cedrat Essence is better, and it's $30. To me, neither Cedrat Boisé Intense or Cedrat Boisé, it's a dumb argument to say which is better, because they're so close that the intense is just going to make it so that you spray less and you get to make out some of the nuances more in the initial hour of projection. But after that first hour and that all goes away, they both settle fairly similar, just with a little more pop off of skin with the intense. But for that little bit of action that you're getting out of the fragrance, if I could spend less money to get the original Cedrat Boisé, which still performs moderately, I'll spend less money to get that, because it's not that crazy of a DNA where I want to pay extra for extra performance. I will just overspray the original and get it for cheaper. Same logic in my mind as Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette versus Eau de Parfum versus Parfum. And same thing with Versace Eros. Of course, when I put my nose in a technical way to Eros Parfum, I think that it's better than EDP and EDT. However, it's not so much better than those two that I won't just buy the EDT because it came out first and I'm gonna get the cheapest price on this DNA. It still has the 8+ hours of longevity. As an eau de toilette, it pops off of skin the craziest. And as an EDT, you don't lose performance. It's still the same DNA. So for me, it's a money issue. I want to just get a 100 ml bottle of this for $40, $50 and not have to spend the $100 to $150 for the Parfum, simply because it's newer and has a little bit more accentuation on it. Jeremy Fragrance is correct in that many fragrances that make an eau de parfum and parfum version of a fragrance are essentially trying to milk the market a second and third time when they already had a great formulation, or they had a bad formulation and are simply reworking the formulation through a version 2 and a version 3. And meanwhile, all you guys are getting sucked into buying the fragrance again, or having an excuse to maybe want to, I don't know. It's just, the eau de toilette is oftentimes the best version of a fragrance. And if the parfum is better, or the eau de parfum is better, it's because they completely changed the formulation in between and did something completely different. So it's not a one size fits all. I'm just spitting my game. I like 9 p.m. right now, winter. I like Dua's version of Lafayette Street. Matter of fact, a sales rep from Bond Number 9 at Neiman Marcus last week gave me this Lafayette Street. I still got full juice on it. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Every night I go live, at some point, I try to spray this and give it another shot. It's a cool synthetic fresh green accord of a fragrance to me. This is the real thing, by the way. This isn't a clone. Is it worth the $200-300 price tag? No way in hell. This is too generic of a DNA to pay that much money, which is why people go to the clone. But my question is if it's a generic DNA as its most luxurious form, then even the clones would feel generic as well. Synthetic, fresh, green, earthy. I wish I wasn't so tired at night, because I would just be giving you guys alternatives to all of these, but Lafayette Street, the actual version, is not worth the money. It's not even worth a travel spray. 9 p.m.'s cool. I like Acqua di Gio Profondo for the summer, or maybe I would go Dior Sauvage Parfum. I'm still building. Oh, that's excellent, VI. That's excellent. So now my question is, are you looking for fragrances similar to those fragrances that you're wearing now? You want something slightly different but in the same wheelhouse, or are you wanting something completely different in those subjects? So for instance, when you wear 9 p.m. for winter, are you looking for a completely different style of DNA for winter? That's the last question I have for you, and then I've got you covered on the answers. What's the best fresh cologne fragrance? Fresh? If we're going like most fresh, period, I wouldn't even get the cologne. I would just get Mont Blanc Starwalker for 20 bucks. It's the same price as a cologne, but it's a designer house. And when we talk about just clean linen, the tiniest touch of like a bergamot and bamboo, office safe. This is the most clean cut office fragrance. You're not gonna smell unique, but you're gonna smell like the cleanest guy in the room. Clean, 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 clean. If we're actually mean the word clean, Mont Blanc Starwalker is probably gonna beat out most fragrances. Now, there are a lot of freshy clones that I wouldn't necessarily consider clean. Like, they smell fresh, but would I call it a clean fragrance? No, when I think of clean fragrance, I think linen mostly. There's a lot of others. Coach Open Road, 90 Pure White from Banana Republic. You know, something like an Arctic Slate. Yeah. Looking for a Guerlain fragrance, maybe L'Homme Ideal Extreme. Yes, L'Homme, you know, SoCal, I'm going to tell you this, bro. I have L'Homme Ideal Extreme down here. And I needed to because of this purchase right here. L'Homme Ideal Extreme, this is the clone, right? So Fragrance World's Supreme L'Homme Extreme. And I can tell you confidently, having the original right here in my toolkit, they are almost 1-to-1. I mean, if I had to give this a rating and be super technical, I would give it a 95% out of 100. 9.5 out of 10 accuracy. And this fragrance is like $18 to $20 on Amazon. So if you are interested in cherry almond champagne, that's what this is. Ignore Fragrantica. This is cherry almond champagne. And surprisingly, even though it's an extreme, it doesn't feel extreme. It feels more eau de parfum. Well, it is an eau de parfum. But, you know, when you see the word extreme, you just think nuclear. This is not nuclear, but it is a girthy fragrance. Projection, power, I would give it about a 6 out of 10. But the fact of the matter is, this is L'Homme Ideal Extreme for $18 to $20. So I would skip the original Guerlain and go with this. There are other Guerlain fragrances I would not try to clone, and I'll give those to you later. But as far as L'Homme Ideal Extreme, Eau de Parfum, get Supreme L'Homme Extreme from Fragrance World on Amazon, and you will have a beautiful cherry almond with a backbone of champagne feel. It's nice, you know? Not everybody can rock cherry, but, you know, this takes a fragrance like Banana Republic Dark Cherry and Amber, or Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, and it swallows it alive. This is what all those fragrances should have smelled like. Ooh, can I get a recommendation? What's the best fresh cologne fragrance? Oh, well, fresh is different. Himself, if you didn't mean clean and you meant fresh, this is the best fresh fragrance of all time. I have to give you the political answer, buddy. Versace Eros EDT, not Parfum, despite what many people would say. You can get the 50 ml for about 30, maybe 35 at the most, or you could get the 100 ml for about 40 or 50, which I actually think that even though I don't wear this fragrance a lot, I highly respect it, and it is the highest voted fragrance by women almost every single year as just the best, fresh, slightly seductive, slightly playful, but mostly just fresh, nice smelling fragrance. You know, it's got a touch of apple, it's got a touch of vanilla, but the blend is so smooth. You don't smell this and say apple. You don't smell this and say, well, you do kind of smell it and say vanilla, but sophisticated, not like most vanillas, more earthy, fresh. I would pay the 50 bucks, get the 100 ml, and now you have a utility fragrance that, quite frankly,
is going to get you more compliments than probably anything in your collection. And that's just real talk. I have no problem saying that, even though this is not my cup of tea. Versace Eros has never done me wrong. Even though I'm not the biggest Eros fan, anytime I've worn Eros, I pull compliments. And some of you guys might be saying, well, Scent Bubble, why are you wearing a fragrance you don't like? I review fragrances, guys. If I tell you a fragrance is bad, it's because I went outside and put it on multiple days and tried to convince myself it was good. And then I got to keep it real with you guys and tell you, I'm not just going to smell a fragrance and be like, no, it ain't for you. No, things change when you put it on skin. Things change when you go outside. Chemistry does stuff. Atmospheres change. You got to have a full, thorough wearing experience before you start trashing a fragrance, especially one of the caliber that this one is. Best fresh fragrance of all time. I'm wearing Celestial right now. SoCal, doesn't that fragrance smell like heaven in a bottle? Like, I know if we get technical, we could say, you know, fresh cut suede. We could say that sweet, slightly powdery violet leaf, that little touch of floral sweetness. We could say, oh, it's mineralic. You know, you get that sense of like exotic rocks and earth being brushed by air. But it's so breathy and airy. I always just feel like that is such like a heaven smelling fragrance. It smells like heaven. It smells like you're at the highest altitude in the most freshest environment with everything that God has to offer you. I mean, it's just crazy. That's the wearing. It always makes me feel like that. I'm interested how you feel when you wear it. I've heard great things about the house. I'm interested in their winter nighttime fragrances or anything that exceedingly stands out by Guerlain. Message me on Instagram and I will tell you what I'm about to pick up for the channel. Because it is this, before L'Homme Extreme was this fragrance, and it has a little more versatility than L'Homme Extreme. So I'll give you that recommendation. There's only about 2, maybe 3 Guerlains I think people should own. So here's the thing, himself. YSLY EDP is not an out-of-the-shower fresh fragrance. YSLY EDP is like a seductive go-out, date night, nighttime vibes, attention grabber. You don't wear fragrances like that out of the shower. Now, Profondo is different. Profondo is an out-of-the-shower fragrance. So if you have Profondo, you don't really need much else out of the shower. Profondo will totally get the job done. I really don't, you know, I would say with a little bit of a caveat, you know, Eros out of the shower is nice, but completely unnecessary. Fraghead's Asylum, you know, the Elysium DNA is another amazing out of the shower amber citrus vetiver. I think Elysium is the ultimate utility, freshy with charm fragrance, because unlike most citruses on woods fragrances, this one actually has sophistication and you still feel like a man. You don't feel like it's an overly playful citrus fragrance, you know, like Imagination, like Tygar and all that crap. You still maintain your nuts, if that makes sense. But yeah, the top of the metal area of the Bentley bottles has a really weird tactile feel to it. Yeah, you know, it's nice. It's industrial, you know? It's just like, these caps feel like they're made from the body of the actual Bentley car, you know? Like, this might have been the material from the hubcap, you know? Like, it's just, I love the presentation of Bentley, to be honest with you. I mean, it feels sturdy. It's a unique bottle shape, you know? Very unique. I think for a car company, they just really, you have Bentley sitting on your shelf and you feel like a man. And then when you smell how much variation they have in the area of aquatic, aromatic, seductive, dark, fresh, resinous, herbal. I mean, they really did something special, man. I think outside of Lalique, Bentley's got to be one of the best car company / designer houses, period. I mean, 90% of what I've smelled, and I've smelled about 15 of their fragrances so far, I've just been so impressed with. Yeah, you know, Dylan Blue's good, Omar. Dylan Blue's good. Don't let anybody gripe on you about Dylan Blue. Absolutely himself. I hope that was helpful, buddy. What do you prefer, Givenchy Gentleman's Society, EDP, or Intense? I'm going to be honest with you. I think that fragrance lends itself to the EDP being better. I don't think that one needs what Intense gave it. Where I think it matters which one you get is Givenchy Reserve Privé and the black bottle. Is Aura fragrance legit? You know, I don't know. I don't shop on Aura fragrance. I go on Fragrance by CA. To me is the best. You can go Max Aroma, you can go Joma. But Fragrance by CA has pretty much everything. And then it's like a toss-up between Max Aroma, Joma Shop, and Amazon. I haven't tried the Woods collection. Interesting. You know, 2 fragrances I'm getting right now that, you know, that post that I made today about being delayed on 2 fragrances. One of them is Lalique's Ombre. It's either Ombre Nomad or Ombre Noir. I think it's Ombre Nomad from Lalique. I'm excited for that to come in, but again, it's going to take 4 weeks to freaking ship, and I'm only on week 3. I'm so pissed. Yeah, the thing is, Greenlee, though, is like, with Temu, you're always dealing with who the seller is and not having the most reputable sellers oftentimes. And so if you have Amazon Prime, definitely go Amazon. But also, even if you don't have Amazon Prime, Amazon has the ability to rank the sales. So decants are something that are so widely sold that when you type travel spray or you type, you know, 5 ml decant, you can sort the search by the highest rated and most sold companies' products in that category. So you know without a shadow of a doubt, when you get fragrances, they will not leak, they will not break, they're easy to load up, they meet the requirements of being able to be more universally accepted by most fragrance tops. You know, all that stuff really matters, because the worst thing is you go buy a 20 pack or a 50 pack of atomizers that just blow. That is the worst feeling in the world. Send of the day, Mystery Mark, Sweet Botswana. What up, baby boy? Good to see you, bro. I just got 2 fragrances from Hugo Boss. Okay, that's what's up, Ari. Good for you. Which one are you liking more? Creme Brulee. Okay, it was Creme Brulee. There we go. President Roblox are very different. Black Orchid is chocolate. Rose is complex. That's 100% true. I've only smelled the opening on both, though. Okay. Have you tried Dior? Come on. Time out for you. It did make me giggle, though. Fresh fragrance, Art of Universe by Latafa. Smells amazing. I've been hearing a ton. You know, I've been seeing everybody getting their Art of the Universe, and I've just been waiting because everybody says it's amazing right now. I just want to wait till next month and see if everyone's still keeping that same energy. You know, people said the same thing about Vintage Radio. People said the same thing about Vintage Radio, and then it was like, yo, it's 1-to-1. But then it was like, where are you wearing it, though? But I'm excited to see if that one stands the test of time, because I know a lot of people, especially guys that I hit up, say it's amazing. We're not going to be live much longer, guys. I'm just looking back through these questions. We're not doing a long live tonight. I'm a wreck. I've got so much stuff I got to do, and sleep's really important tonight, guys. I just wanted to say what's up to y'all. I got a lot of amazing things coming to this stream that you guys have never seen before in FragCom. I'm not just capping. I'm not capping. Some of the stuff I'm about to drop on this stream, for a channel of my size, you guys are going to be like, how the heck did he do that? I really like Jimmy Choo Aqua, but it doesn't last. Anything similar that you could recommend that has long-lasting performance? For Aqua? Not exactly. Not exactly, brother. Because you're dealing with such a unique DNA there. There's a lot going on in the DNA of Jimmy Choo fragrances. So the complexity that they put behind that aqua note is one where any fragrance that tries to get in the similar vein as it will also have not great performance. If you can get your hands on Banana Republic Arctic Slate and start wearing that with 8 sprays, I think you could definitely outperform Aqua. But it's going to be hard with that DNA. That DNA is so light, it's going to be very hard to beat. Aquatic, pure aquatic, with that kind of medley behind it. It's going to be tough. Arctic Slate Banana Republic's a good starting point. Okay, I'm just gonna throw this disclaimer out there, guys. This is one hell of a reach. This is one hell of a reach. I'm Stretch Armstrong reaching with this recommendation because it is not anywhere near the same DNA as Aqua. But what it does have is it does have a water note. It does have some citrus. And it's very complex with the vetiver note and amber. I would give this a shot, buddy. Fraghead's Asylum from FOMO, $20 to $25, 100 ml. Matter of fact, scratch that. Scratch that. I don't know, bro. I almost want to tell you Aero CDT. It's not exactly aquatic, but it has that blue air going through it like Aqua. And it has the backbone dimension to it. You're not going to get a lot of fragrances that go Aqua but have the type of dimension, that Jimmy Choo multi-note dimension to it. I would almost go Aero CDT, bro, because you're going to get that crazy performance. I'm going to give you the political answer. Fragrantica Jimmy Choo Aqua. We're going to give you the political answer. I don't feel qualified. I've smelled Aqua before, but it's such a unique DNA. They do something different with that Aqua Accord behind it because it's got that Jimmy Choo essence behind Aqua. You know, every Jimmy Choo fragrance is essentially Jimmy Choo man with a slight shift. I'm going to answer your question politically. Grapefruit, seawater, clary sage, patchouli, and moss. Yeah, bro. This will get you the closest, man. Banana Republic Arctic Slate. If you can find it, it's discontinued, but people do carry it. If you can find it, that's going to be the closest to that DNA. Some other recommendations I would recommend. Well, that's also true. This is why I got to go on Fragrantica. Fragrantica reminds me I have fragrances that maybe even give Calvin Klein Defy a shot. CK Defy. That also will give you a similar feel. If you need an affordable fragrance, go here. If you could step it up to about the $40, $50 price range, I don't know, the 30, 40 price range, I would go somewhere around Banana Republic, Arctic Slate. I might even play with some Versace Eros EDT. Another one that you can go with, and you're not going to get the performance though, is going to be like Coach for Men. These other recommendations lack performance, so I'm trying to hesitate with what I say. Invictus by Paco Rabanne. Invictus for men, but I don't think you're going to get the performance. Let me double check the performance. Yeah, Invictus Aqua is the same base DNA. So it's moderate performance. It's moderate. So you might be lucky to get about 4 to 6 hours after it, maybe 5 to 6 hours out of it, and you'll have to respray. But 5 to 6 ain't bad for an aqua fragrance. I would give this fragrance a shot. This is going to be your match in modern day. Invictus Rabanne for men. And you'll notice that the same notes that are in aqua are exactly in this. Water note, grapefruit, jasmine, oak moss, and patchouli. Only difference is they put a little bit of bay leaf, a little bit of mandarin orange in it, but you don't really get those as much. That's going to be your match, buddy. It's going to cost you some money, but you asked. Best fragrance that is mass appealing, refreshing, long-lasting, addictive, clean, and delicious. Oh, shoot. Versace Eros EDT. Absolutely, SoCal. How good is Angel Share? Don't worry about getting Angel Share. Just get this. Amir Paris Corner Fire Your Desire. You can get it for about 25, 30 bucks, 100 ml. This is Angel Share. If you spend all that money on actual Angel Share and you get it, you'll realize it's good, but you don't have a lot of use case for it. It's almost entirely date night / holiday-esque. When you only spend $30 for it, now you have a banger that you can bust out certain seasons. Thanksgiving, Christmas, date night, nightlife theater. Once in a while, you pop out with this. You have the cognac, praline, cinnamon, vanilla, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, get Amir Paris Corner Fire Your Desire and call it a day. You do not need the actual Angel Share. This smells 100% just like it. What are your thoughts on Off-Non 9 p.m.? It's a good fragrance for somebody just starting out in fragrance who's under 25. That's what I think about it. If you're chasing an ultra male clone, then you shouldn't get 9 p.m. You should get Lattafa Ram's Silver if you want an ultra male clone, because it'll only cost you $7 or $17 for 100 ml. But as a fragrance on its own, 9 p.m. is good for kids. What are your favorite fragrance websites? I went over this earlier. The lowest prices you're going to find humanly possible is going to be fragrancebuy.ca. And then after that, it's a toss-up at any time in the year on what has the best price between Amazon, Joma Shop, and Max Aroma. Best site for finding decant samples is scentdecant.com. Yeah, there's nothing else like it, SoCal. That's what I love about it. It's just so unique. The only thing even close to it that reminds you of it is Oud Wood. In your opinion, what's a great cologne for wintertime sweaty, musty people? A sweaty, musty person in the wintertime should not wear what he should wear during the wintertime, which is like a sweeter fragrance, a more complex, richer fragrance, which if you're musty, all of that's just gonna smell like complex funk. So what you actually need to do is go in your spring summer bag as a musty guy, and you need to go with something extra clean. Mont Blanc Starwalker, spray yourself about 20 times, or be a normal human being and just go take a shower. Lafayette Street's not worth it something. I just sprayed Lafayette Street just now. It is not worth the hype at all. Find a clone of it. If you really think that DNA is special, spend $30 for the clone and call it a day. That fragrance is not worth like $300, $200. I don't care what it is. It's not worth that. It's not even worth $100 to me. Issey Miyake has a fragrance called, yeah. No, I remember that, SoCal. You were mentioning it. If you want yuzu or lemon, you need to get into Montclair's La Corday or Wulong Cha. That right there will put your nose onto something you've never smelled before. I want to get Starwalker 2 for the bamboo note since I've never used it before. Honestly, I'm going to keep it real with you, SoCal. Don't get Starwalker for the bamboo note, because if you get it and you've never smelled a bamboo note, you almost won't even smell it. If you're not familiar with what a bamboo accord even feels like, this is simply just going to smell like a slightly synthetic bergamot clean linen fragrance. The bamboo really just kind of tinges the linen note to have a little bit of some weight behind the kind of bergamot airiness. It's essentially like 90% like clean linen with 10% bergamot with a tinge of whatever the heck bamboo's doing to it. It's not a very distinct or loud accord. So you're not going to smell this and go, oh, that bamboo changed this. It did, but not in a way where you said, oh, bamboo. You know what I'm saying? So just a warning. It's just a clean office fragrance that you can wear and smell just extremely clean. It's not going to give you anything else. No signature, no serious projection. It's just when people come up to you, you're going to smell extremely clean. And I think there's a place for that, which is why I bought this. Blind grab, go to work, smell extremely fresh. You know, it borderline's not even a fragrance almost. Which is why I think, like, if a lot of people want like a clean linen fragrance that has a little more character to it, Coach Open Road and Banana Republic 90 Pure White is easily better than it in that regard. But I like how dry and manly Starwalker is comparatively. But I think there is a place for that linen slight floral, linen slight sweet, linen slight red apple touch that makes me want to have both. Dior Sauvage, we're going to turn this off because I got to sign off soon. Dior Sauvage EDT or YSL-Y. The political answer is Dior Sauvage, Ash, but my personal preference is YSL-Y over Dior Sauvage EDT. What do you think about Tobacco Lord DNA? I've never smelled it, Omar. I'm continuing exploration into Yaman Lale, another 5-pack sample of clones on the way. Beautiful, Greenlee. Let me know how you feel about them. I've heard they're a great house as well. Thoughts on Dolce & Gabbana The One EDP? Not worth it in today's market. Matter of fact, an old vintage fragrance that just had a new revamp is Burberry Hero Parfum. That was actually excellent. You should try that and replace your Banana Republic The One. Thoughts on Polo Green? Meh. Peace and blessings to the chat. Peace and blessings. Do you have Mancera Instant Crush? I do have Instant Crush. I don't think let me be careful here. For somebody 25 and under, Instant Crush will feel amazing to people. It'll kind of give you the same vibe, not necessarily DNA, as like a Layton, but it's more subdued. So it's kind of subdued sweetness in kind of a Jean-Paul Gaultier way, but it's more of a pretty cute, sweet fragrance. It has like a, by the way, no more questions in the chat, guys, because I'm going to be signing off soon. So respectfully. But yeah, I mean, it's just a expensive candied fragrance. It doesn't, I don't make out much with this fragrance. It literally has a, you know, when you go into like a candy store where they've got like those buckets that you can kind of open the peel and grab with the tongs the stuff and fill up a clear bag and go weigh the bag of candy. This is like if you grabbed all of the sweet tarts and the red, the cinnamon, or not the cinnamon, but you know, all the sweet candy, not the sour candy, all the sweet little candies, you put them in your bag, and then you put a touch of amber and a touch of green behind it. It's not a green fragrance, but green does something to this when you put your nose up. It's just got a very, it smells like a very luxurious, childish fragrance. That's where I'm going. Luxurious, childish. And not childish like little kid, but this smells like the fragrance that a 20 to 25-year-old kid in college would wear, and his parents got it for him from Neiman Marcus for Christmas because they said, you know, teenagers love this. And, you know, so they spent the $200 for him. And he gets all the girls just because he has the expensive fragrance on. But there's really not a lot going on to this. This is candied fruits. This is a little bit of sophistication, a lot of amber. I actually think a better fragrance from Mancera is Amberful. I think Amberful took this idea and really made it more sexy. But I say all that knowing that Instant Crush is one of the largest sellers from Mancera. So who the heck cares what I have to say about it? But if it were me, I would go Amberful over this. But I think Instant Crush, a lot of people will like smelling it on you, but no one will really compliment you on it who I think is over 27-ish. So if you're under that, though, it's a banger. But I think you'll love Amberful even more, regardless of what your age is. Okay. Thoughts on Baccarat Rouge 540? Played out. Played out for its DNA. A lot of people love Baccarat. It's great. I personally think it's played out. I think if you want to smell like Baccarat for $17, you can go Lattafa Rams Gold. And you're going to smell close enough for $17. You're going to have a full large bottle of it. Or you can go $30 or $40 and get Armaf's Club de Nuit Untold. If you get Club de Nuit Untold, you'll smell exactly like Baccarat. If you want to just almost smell like Baccarat and pay half the dollars, $17 Lattafa Rams Gold, you'll be close enough. Absolutely. Game of Spades Full House is a good summer pool party, late night summer party where both males and females would appreciate the scent. I agree. I agree, Isaac. Good to see you. Yeah, I would hold off on Malachite, Isaac. I would hold off on it, buddy. I would hold off on it. In fact, wait till next week when I drop my top 10 fragrances of 2024 and see if something on there catches your attention. I got something for you on there. Thoughts on Eau Sauvage? Eau Sauvage is Eau Sauvage. Oh, you're talking the chrome bottle, the green fragrance. Yeah, I mean, Eau Sauvage. If you ever remember those trees that go in cars, like those deodorant trees after you get a car wash, there used to be a green tree in there that had this like really pine green smell. And my parents used to get that in the early 2000s. They'd get the green one instead of new car smell, instead of vanilla, right? And Eau Sauvage is that green tree, but way fresher and way... Eau Sauvage is like every pine-related green tree outside collected into a bouquet, crushed with a mortar and pestle, and then somebody just smacked it on your face. It is a fresh green, piney, nuclear powerhouse. For some reason, the performance isn't that insane, but the initial hour of projection on that is just insane. It does smell old, man. It smells old. I don't think anybody today wears Eau Sauvage. Eau Sauvage today smells like a 70-year-old guru that's on his way out that made millions. You know, he didn't make billions, he made millions. You know, he might have ran a bank for a little while, and he's just wearing that fragrance that got him a bunch of chicks when he was younger. Eau Sauvage is super outdated, man. Super duper outdated. You will instantly age 20 years when you put that fragrance on. So if you're 18, you'll turn into, 38. My friend has Instant Crush. I find it very feminine. It smells exactly like Thomas Cosmolet. You know, the thing is, Isaac, though, just because a fragrance smells feminine doesn't mean it's not masculine. Like, because if that's the case, all the Jean-Paul Gaultier line would be feminine, right? All of the 1 million line would be feminine. But part of masculinity is having touches of sweet because you're trying to be reminiscent of something that a female would wear. And that's like a masculine psychology. You know, it's almost like when you light a candle when your girl comes over, what are you, less of a man because you put on a candle that smells like vanilla and cinnamon? No, you put the vanilla and cinnamon in the air because you know she likes vanilla and cinnamon, and that becomes part of your ensemble because when she thinks of you, she thinks of the candle. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the fact that Instant Crush smells feminine, they made it that way. They made the guy that smells slightly sweet but really rich smelling candy sweet, and a lot of younger women go for that. You know, that's why it's kind of marketed to that like 18-year-old to 25-year-old pocket. It's like the college fragrance of the year, basically. Hey, Joel. Hey, we're signing off, man. I'm trying to fly through here. How long you been in the cologne game? I've only been talking about my fragrances publicly for about 2 years, but I've been wearing fragrance for 30. Okay. Hey, I see you with that Salvador Ferragamo. I like it, Joel. Yeah, definitely tune in, Isaac. I'm flying through these now. Oh, we got to the bottom. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Isaac. Like, again, like a great example of this is Versace Eros EDT. Like, women say that this fragrance is the best. They don't even mean when they say it that it's the best men's fragrance. They'll say that, but the reason they love it so much is because it has notes in it that they already absolutely love. Vanilla. This is like apple and freshness dressed around vanilla, a fragrance that women love. That's why women love vanilla and amber, like Maison Francis Kirkjohn's Grand Soir. Even though men come across it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is just a vanilla bomb. And it's like, well, yeah, but she wants to lick that off of your neck, so why are you fighting that? It's like, you know what I'm saying, guys? I want to be age appropriate in here, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always been a psychology to masculinity in terms of pursuing a woman where if men were trying to be men all day, then every fragrance would smell like pine needles, cedar, wood, grass, incense, anything from the outdoors, minerals. You know what I'm saying? But no, there's feminine touches to everything, even though they call them men fragrances. And the way you dress it up, if that's all that we wore, women would be scared to walk near you. But every fragrance under the sun is dressed up in sweetness somehow, and some more than others to kind of evoke a certain type of connection with a girl. You know, some fragrances lead with citrus, and that takes a type of sweetness, right? Men don't really want to smell like strawberries and lemons and oranges and grapes and apples. But when you put that on woods, okay, now it's something I can rock with, but it's also something sweet that the ladies can connect with. So elements that I would say are more feminine that typically, you know, get introduced in all men's fragrances to kind of make them more palatable to a woman, because men don't really wear fragrances for men. Sometimes they wear them for themselves, but the mass market markets cologne to men for men trying to get women, and vice versa. You know, so those accords are florals, citruses, and sweets, you know, gourmands. So you're going to see one of those three and or a mix of those in every single men's fragrance that you think of. I mean, I can walk down the line. With this, it's rum and vanilla. With this, it's oranges. With this, it's grapefruit. With this, it's florals and basil and sweetness. With this, it's amber. It's citrus. With this, it's a fruit basket of citrus. With this, it's lemon. With this, it's iris florals. With this, it's gourmandy cinnamon and praline and cognac. With this, it's cherries. You know, with this, it's vanilla. With this, it's flowers. Every fragrance up here takes feminine elements that traditionally by themselves would be a feminine thing, and they put it next to a masculine idea to give it contrast. You have a little bit of seduction, but you've got a lot of edge too. And that's the play, right? Some fragrances are more, you give the girl everything up front. That's why we call them boy toy fragrances, because women will just come up and say, "Oh, you smell great. What is that?" But you're probably not going to get the chick because you don't feel edgy at all. Whereas, you know, a lot of great fragrances, the older you get, the more you'll like a fragrance that leads with edge and just has a backbone of soft sweetness, just so that they kind of are drawn in, but they're still unsure. And then that creates a chemistry of like, oh, I want to know that guy, even though he's kind of edgy, he's kind of bad, you know what I mean? So, but there's a different type of psychology. Like, some men like women that are looking for a boy toy, conservative kind of guy that's going to just put it all out there, you know? And there's fragrances made for that kind of guy, you know? But like a fragrance like Dior Homme Intense, for instance, you'd smell that and go, why does a guy want to smell like lipstick? Because the girl is going to like that smell and want to get really close to you, because there's something sexy about a man who's playing with edgy masculine notes and then is confident enough in himself to wear something that she can identify with and come into, and that creates chemistry and connection. And it does magic, man. Playing with the nose is like, it's why this fragrance is so incredible. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, no, I mean, listen, man, when people started calling me the scientist on my show, I kind of laughed because, you know, I'm just long-winded. But, you know, the more and more I freestyle about fragrance and stuff like that, the more I'm realizing, like, everyone's pretty spot on. We break stuff down around here. You guys know me, man. It doesn't, from the easiest decision to the toughest decision, everything I do is thoughtful. I'll never make a recommendation or talk about some aspect of a fragrance that I don't have a personal connection with. And that's why I talk so much, because I'm letting you guys know, like, yo, the stuff I'm talking about, whether it's true or not, it's my truth. But I have a lot of information as to what goes into my mind when I'm buying fragrance and picking fragrance, and how that changes. And if I'm fully transparent with you guys, there's a lot of stuff to drop and kind of educate a little bit on helping you guys on your fragrance journey. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's all good, man. It's all good, man. We love everybody in here, but we do sit clowns in timeout. So, you know, I could literally go like this, and I got people who take care of me. So Thank you guys for sweeping the trolleys. I didn't even see that. Oh, I appreciate that, Greenlee. I really appreciate that. I hope to continue to be able to provide my thoughts on things in fragrance for a while. I don't know what's to come of this channel. I'm kind of just taking it as far as I can go creatively. I don't care about, you know, what people normally think about, which is like the grind of, oh, this many followers or an endorsement or make my own fragrance. I'm just thinking like concepts I have on fragrance, sharing that with the world and learning. And like I'm a student of the game. Like I'm going back to Neiman Marcus tomorrow and I have 20 niche fragrances that I have to put my nose on that I didn't get to put my nose on last time I was there. And I'm taking home samples of all 20 of them. I don't care what they tell me. I don't care what I got to buy. I'm walking out of there with take-home samples of everything I'm looking at so that I can do full reviews on the channel and get a wearing experience of these, because the next fragrance or two that I get are going to be straight niche. And we're going to have a good time with that. But I appreciate you guys. Love y'all so much for tuning in. I got to get some shutty. I'm beat, man. I'm so glad tomorrow's Friday. This has been a rough week getting out of having the flu. And y'all saw I honored my commitment, man. We dropped 2 episodes today and 2 reels. Tomorrow, I'm going to be honest with you. Tomorrow, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to go 4 for 4. I'm going to drop an episode. I'm going to load up an episode for 6 a.m. Pacific, noon. We're going to drop a second episode tomorrow. And then we're going to drop 2 reels in the evening. Yeah, man, that flu killed me, man. I was asleep for 36 hours. Comatose. It was bad. It was so bad. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Love y'all, man. Joel, you now have a second moderator. I know you know Greenlee. We modded him up tonight. He's been doing an incredible job with the transcriptions. So y'all will be able to work together, take a little workload off of each other's back. I'll be helping you as well. Yeah, and guys, again, at the end of the day, if you ever want to just come in here and chill, you do not have to come in here and transcribe. You do not have to come in here and moderate. Any level of work that y'all do is appreciated. You've earned my trust at this point. I will step up and take care of both of those roles anytime y'all just want to chill in here and hang out. But everything that you do is very appreciated. Joel, I gave Greenlee a 5 ml decan of anything you wanted from the collection tonight. If you want anything from the collection as well, I'd be happy to mail you something as well. But you might want to wait until I go to Neiman's tomorrow and bring home some more niche. Love you guys. Y'all have a blessed night. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Talk to you soon.